Here we're looking at the directory for Tomcat. Here we see that the version is 6.0.26. So we're going to go ahead and navigate to the directory itself, and then we see already listed a directory of all the files. And what we want to do here now is to start up Tomcat. We run the startup.sh file. Then we go ahead and navigate to the Safari browser and open up localhost :8080, which Tomcat starts by default. In this case, we'll go straight to the Tomcat manager and then log in. I've set the name and password to Tomcat in this case, a very basic setup for demonstration purposes. And then so what we want to do is to click into the file manager, and we get a login for a normal user, a user B in this case, and then press the submit button. Oh, but before we do that, let's look at the register page. Here is where anybody can register, and then we press the submit button for user B, and what we have here is the first screen called File. We see here the menu options at the top. In particular, what we have right now is a file that's already been uploaded. We can delete and toggle published on it. If we look at the table here, we have an option for pagination. We have next, last, first, and previous. Then the organization can be set and the group can be set for the uploads along with the exist collections path. We'll be looking at this somewhat later when we do an actual upload. On the group page, we have a group name where we can add a group name, delete a group name, or toggle the group being active. Again, we have pagination, and then we have a listing. We're going to go ahead and try to toggle a group being active, and we see that we don't have permission in this case. And one of the nice things about the Yahoo API tables is that they allow you to do a variety of operations on the tables, including sorting the columns and resizing them. Here in the group organization menu option, we can manage groups for within an organization, and when we have the all button selected, we see that the toggle include is disabled, but now it's enabled when we do actually select an organization. And when we do select a row and attempt to toggle include, again we have the same issue with regard to group admin. We'll log in later as an admin so that we can see this better. In the author group, we have the option to put an author within a group for a given role and then toggle their inclusion into that. Here we're going to look at the authors within group 1 and then look at the authors within group 2, and then we'll go ahead and log out and then log in as the admin user A. Here we see a new set of menu options: admin, author, author org, and organization. In admin, we have the option to reset the database. In this case, it's a HyperSQL database, which is file-based. And in the case of the author page, we can manage the individual registered users, delete them, and toggle their active state. Within the author org, we can assign an author within an organization. This is more of a gatekeeper role. We see a different set of users within these different organizations, and then we can set their or toggle their inclusion into the organizations. Here we're going to look at the organization page where we can give an organization a name, and then we can add that name to the list, or we can select from the table and then delete or toggle its activity. In this case, we select organization 2 and we want to toggle it to no, it is not active, and then we toggle it back to being active. Let's go back to user B, where we have a normal login that's non-admin. Here we're back to the file page. Note that the user B, has an application role of author. We're going to go ahead and click on the link for the URL and go right into the XForms generated pages that were created by the schema walker, which we'll see later. It takes a moment just to get it started initially because it's doing servlet instantiation. We see the first page is general info, and we can see some of the nodes behind that first page. We'll go ahead and look through a couple of pages and then return back. Here we have the people page. And then we'll click on coverage. You can see the extensive amount of nodes that appear, and then we'll go right into keywords and then associate material. Associated projects. It takes a little bit of time between page switchings because the application is actually saving the data. Here we can save the data in native format, or we can export it to normal XML format. And then we come right back to the file manager. Notice here we have finally the code that can be used to deploy the schema walker file manager and metadata editor. The code is in zip files. Thank you for watching.